Welcome back, folks. I'm Josephine Sage, and we're going to take just a quick look back into yesterday at that thunderstorm. So all that thunder, all that lightning, all those scary clouds last night were actually caused due to convection. That's that vertical transfer of heat into that unstable upper environment where those cumulus clouds are. Now, updrafts are causing that convection, and same with that orographic lifting, because we're right next to those higher elevation mountains, so that air kind of gets a little bit stuck before heading on to those higher regions to then rain more along that I-70 corridor. Now, just a couple of facts about thunderstorms. Up to 25 million lightning strikes are recorded every year in the United States, with 100,000 thunderstorms happening in the U.S. And unfortunately, up to 50 fatal deaths happen a year due to lightning strikes. So make sure you're being careful. And even as we take a look out right now, we'll notice those scary clouds are kind of rolling back in again as we look over the book cliffs, over the mesa. We've got those cumulus clouds and all that updraft action happening again. And even right now, I do want to chat about an areal flood warning advisory. A flash flood warning is also active in Garfield County, and this is going to be with us at least until around that 9 p.m. hour. I do want to chat about what a mesocyclone is, because that's essentially what we're looking at right now in formation and what we were looking at yesterday. It's 2 to 6 miles in diameter, can be seen visibly rotating, and usually causes tornadoes, but not for us here in the Grand Valley. Those are for those areas along that plain, those plains area when the same kind of thunderstorms form. Now, mind you, we're going to take a look at that short-term forecast as this kind of big mesocyclone is forming. It's going to move in the next couple of hours into those higher or into those northern regions, but another round is headed our way towards that 11 p.m. hour. Tomorrow morning, a little bit of a clearing is headed our way. Wednesday, though, along that Glenwood Springs area in the early afternoon hours, those northern mountains, more rounds are headed our way. And even into Wednesday evening, that 6:30 hour, we'll notice some more moving on through, but by Wednesday in those p.m. hours, clearing up for Thursday, dry airs are going to move on in for us here in the Grand Valley. We do have that rain still seen in the Redlands, at least until those later evening hours, and we are in that enhanced storm category, so that means numerous severe storms are possible this evening. So what you need to know: on and off rain showers throughout this evening into the morning, with higher wind speeds up to 40, maybe even 45 miles an hour. Small chance for hail, especially in those higher regions, and that same chance for rain and hail is possible in those higher elevations, but more accumulation is what's going to happen around that Craig, that Meeker, that Glenwood Springs area. Now, mind you, we do have a little bit more than moderate lightning chance tonight, low hail, wind, and flooding chance in Mesa County, but Garfield County and those higher regions, that flood warnings are going to be at an elevated risk. As we take a look at that rain potential, we'll notice it's going to move across that plains area, where areas like Nebraska could be getting up to 2, maybe even 3 inches of accumulation. Now, this is a mesocyclone, but it is still part of that monsoon season. So it's not just one certain storm, not just one certain event. It's this accumulation of wet and hot season, typically between June and late September. So we're right in the middle of that. We'll notice as we take a look here, that monsoon chance is spreading all the way from that western Utah area all the way to the Front Range of Colorado. Now, our extended forecast is going to show us we're hanging out in those mid to upper 90s for the long run and even into the weekend. And tonight, I know we're not going to be able to see it, but it is a supermoon. That means the moon is the closest to the Earth that it can get for the year, and we do have a chance for that later in August as well, with the way that it's positioned right now. But Thursday, as we get that drier airs moving on in, it's Market on Main in downtown Grand Junction. We'll be there live. Come join the vendors and us downtown. And Montrose, of course, is hanging out in those mid to upper 80s even throughout those weekend days.